what's up guys, it's Mike. In this video we're going to talk about how to lose your belly fat. The tips and strategies that I'm going to talk about might be a little bit different. You're going to be surprised. It's going to be a little bit different than what you think it is. Before we do that, I want to talk about something that I think is even more important than working out and nutrition. Willpower. Willpower is going to be the driving force that's going to determine whether you get something done or whether you let excuses and life get in the way. Think about the last time you stuck to a diet and last time you stuck to a workout regimen and stayed consistently on working out 3-4 days a week, for example. If you think about it, what caused you to stop? First off, everybody's gonna go ahead and start naming all these excuses, all these real life excuses that come in the way. If you have very high willpower, you can overcome all these excuses and all these obstacles. If you have very high willpower, no matter what challenges life throws at you, you can overcome it. You can crush it. Willpower is so important, but yet not a lot of people go over it. Not a lot of training videos and stuff really cover that thing. You can have the best advice on working out and nutrition, but if you don't have the willpower to stick to it, at some point in your life, things are gonna get in the way, excuses are gonna happen, and there's gonna be reasons on why you need to go ahead and stop doing something. So it doesn't matter how badass these advices is, you're gonna end up stopping anyways. And that is the biggest issue that I realized after talking to a lot of people. They always tell me the same thing. I give them advice on working out and nutrition, and at the end, I see them months later, and they tell me, they stopped for whatever reason. It all boils down to they didn't have enough willpower to stick to it. I'm actually reading a book right now on how to increase willpower, and it talks about basically breaking everything down and what willpower actually is and how to increase self-control, and also how to go ahead and get ready for obstacles to come into your life, because they always will. So the book I'm reading actually is called The Willpower Instinct by Kelly McGonigal. I just started it, but I want to share it with you because it's a good book, and I think it would really help you accomplish your real goals of losing your belly fat and getting six-pack abs. Because remember, it's not the diet and it's not the nutrition stuff, it's your willpower that's stopping you from losing your belly fat and really getting the body that you want. You can go to the bookstore and buy it, or better yet, audible.com/Mike and actually get your first audiobook for free. Because I have a deal set up with Audible to where if I send anybody over there to Audible, they're gonna hook them up with the first audiobook for free. So audible.com/Mike and look for that title, The Willpower Instinct by Kelly McGonigal. Let's talk about exactly how to burn your belly fat. And I think a lot of people are confused because they think working on abs or doing a lot of workouts is gonna go ahead and burn your belly fat. The best way I can explain it is giving an analogy with two cars. Okay, let's say you have two cars. This car right here on my left has a horsepower of 100 horsepower, right? And this one has 500 horsepower. So when you got two cars, 100 horsepower, 500 horsepower, and their goal is to go ahead and burn 100 gallons of gasoline. Which car do you think will burn more gasoline? The car with 100 horsepower or the car with 500 horsepower? Answer's pretty simple, right? Everybody knows it's the 500 horsepower car. Why? Because there's more horsepower, right? The more horsepower, the more gasoline it burns. Now I want you to think about our bodies. Our bodies actually work very similar. The muscles on our body is basically like the horsepower in a car, right? The engine, right? And the fuel of our body is the fat. Fat on our body is like gasoline in a car. When we go ahead and work our muscles need what? Fuel. So it uses fuel or the fat on your body or calories, which extra calories turn into fat. So it's all the same thing. So basically the whole idea is if on a car, if a bigger engine car burns more gasoline, then what does that say about our bodies? Same thing. A body with more muscle is gonna burn more calories and more fat. So how do you want to get rid of your belly fat? Well, think about this. When you have two guys, if you have guy number one, he has 100 pounds of muscle and he needs to burn 20 pounds of fat. Guy number two has 200 pounds of muscle and he needs to burn 20 pounds of fat. Which guy do you think will burn more fat? The guy on the left or the guy on the right? This guy right here, right? He can burn more fat and faster. Can this guy burn 20 pounds of fat? Absolutely. But it's gonna take him a lot longer. just like a smaller car can still burn 100 gallons of gasoline, but it's gonna take a lot longer, okay? So next time, if you're wondering why you have to do so much cardio and so much workouts and spend so much time and you only burn a little bit, that's the reason why. Because your body doesn't have enough muscle, so you're basically like a small car. You can still eventually get the results that you want, but it takes such a long time. And unless you want to spend hours and hours every day spinning your wheels to try to burn some fat, you want to do it faster and more efficient. So what you need to do is build more muscle. So next time you're working on squats, next time you're doing a push-up, next time you're doing a bicep curl, just remember, the muscles that you're building on your body is responsible for burning your belly fat, okay? Not just your abs. Your abs is a muscle, obviously, but it's such a small muscle on your body compared to everything else, okay? So remember, especially your legs. Guys that don't like to work on your legs, I didn't like to work on my legs before, but once I realized that working on your legs can burn your belly fat, guess what? Now I don't miss leg days, because every time I work on my legs, my belly fat leans down, okay? You burn more calories, okay? So don't forget that. Muscle burns fat. You want to burn your belly fat? You got to build more muscle. So here are the criteria that you need to follow when it comes to working out. Number 1, make sure you work out anywhere from about 4 to about 5 days a week. Number 2, your workout should be anywhere from about 20 minutes to about 45 minutes long. Number 3, make sure that your rest times are only about 30 seconds between sets. This way you're actually doing work and not sitting around just twiddling your thumb. And number 4, don't spend more than 5 minutes a day on abs. Let me repeat that. Don't spend more than 5 minutes. Why? Because your abs, by doing ab exercises, doesn't burn your belly fat because they're only working that small area of muscle. That's why you spend the rest of the time working on the other muscles, okay? Because those other muscles are the muscles that will burn your fat. One more tip. When you're doing exercises, do compound exercises. Compound exercises involve multiple muscle groups, okay? For example, if I'm doing a squat, right? Squat is a compound exercise. Why? Because I'm squatting down, working my quads, working my hamstrings, working my glutes, using my back. So this is using multiple muscle groups. So remember, if you're doing a leg extension, you're sitting there and you're only doing this, you're only using one part of your leg. That's like a car with 500 horsepower, but you're only using 50 horsepower. Well, guess what? You're still not gonna be able to burn much gas, right? You have to go ahead and use the entire 500 horsepower if you want to burn a lot of gas. Same thing with your exercises. When you're using your muscles and activating and using those muscles, you have to do exercises that involve multiple muscle groups. The more muscle groups it involves and it activates, the more calories and the more fat it's gonna burn. Okay, so don't forget that. Okay, that's the last tip on workouts. So next thing is food. The best advice I can give you on food is very, very simple. Cook your meals. If you don't like to cook, man, too bad. You know, it's okay. I don't like to cook either. Okay, I don't cook much at all. But you can still spend just one day a week cooking. And don't spend more than 2 hours. If you get it right, you can actually get it done a lot faster in 2 hours. Okay, all you have to do is keep your cooking very simple. Every meal needs to have protein, carbs, and veggies. Your protein shouldn't take really more than 20 minutes to cook. Your whole week's of protein. Why? You know, there's fast ways to cook protein. I'm gonna give you an example. I like to use Foreman grills, right? Because they have 2 cooking surfaces, one on the top, one on the bottom. I literally just grab the meats, I spread them out, I season everything, throw it on the Foreman grills, and close them. That's it. I mean, it doesn't take a chef to know how to do any of that. I'm not a chef. I actually suck at cooking. But that's the way I do it, and it gets done really quick. The carbs, I eat brown rice because it's simple. You know, I just put water, rice, press one button in the rice cooker, and that's it. How hard is that, right? Vegetables. I got so lazy now, I don't even cook my vegetables anymore. You know what I do? I just go to the store and I just grab those bags that are already pre-cut, and then I just put them raw into the Tupperwares. So this way, whenever you heat the Tupperwares up in the microwave for like 2 minutes, the vegetables get cooked already through the steam. And that's it. So it's so simple. Literally, you can knock out all of your cooking for your whole entire week within 2 hours. What I recommend is starting off with about 20 meals to start with, okay? If you haven't done this yet, it's gonna be really hard getting used to eating out of containers. You know, I've been doing it for over a decade now. So try doing that, okay? Start off with about 20 meals. It'll take you under 2 hours, knock it out really quick, and you'll be done, okay? If you follow those 3 things, you're gonna lose your belly fat. I promise you, okay? So here's a wrap up on it. Number 1, willpower. If you don't have willpower, none of the stuff, none of the advice would even matter because you're not gonna be able to stick to it because all obstacles are gonna get in your way and you're gonna stop every time. Check out that book, The Willpower Instincts by Kelly McGonigal, okay? Audible.com/Mike. Second thing, build muscle. Remember, muscle burns belly fat, okay? Your abs aren't the one doing much of the burning. Everything else is. Build muscle, okay? Make sure to go ahead and do your workouts and follow those tips on the workouts. Number 3, cook your meals, okay? That's the only way you can really stick to a good diet, and it also helps to stick to a good diet when you have your food already prepped. It's the only way to stick to a good diet, and it also saves you money at the same time, okay? Cook your meals. You don't need to take long to cook it. It should be maximum 2 hours. Those 3 things are gonna make sure you lose your belly fat, you stay in great shape, and you never will gain a gut ever again. Okay, hope those tips help you out. For more workouts and more nutrition, check out sixpackshortcuts.com. See you guys next time. Later.